Hello, 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 everyone. Dr. Rowena Winkler here, and welcome to part 2 of our Inner Child Intuitive Readings. I'm going to be hopping on live on IG as well, so let me, you might see my hand, so that's fine, whatever. Hello, 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 everyone, and happy Friday. We have made it through another week, and the reason why I felt called to do these intuitive readings this week, number of reasons. First of all, we are in the thick of Cancer season, which that energy in and of itself is very nurturing, maternal. It allows us to consider the ways in terms of how we can reparent ourselves and how we can tend to our inner child. Also, a couple of interesting events coming up. If you are so moved or interested, we do have a new moon coming up. We have the Cancer new moon coming up on Monday, the 17th. So at 5 p.m., I will be leading my new moon insights on my Instagram channels on Instagram, on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in joining and gaining some insights or watching the replay, you are welcome to do that. In addition, on Tuesday, July 25th, I will be launching my Inner Child Healing Workshop. So this is a workshop that I had created last year, actually, but I have since revamped it, updated it, and repurposed it for y'all. It's going to come with not only a framework, which I call the Inner Child Healing Value Tower. Stay tuned on what the heck that means. And yes, it may include a picture of my daughter when she was younger with her learning tower. And you'll also get a ton of delightful free resources, including various meditations. There's a workbook that you can use because, as I mentioned, when I did these readings on Wednesday, inner child healing, it doesn't end, right? It doesn't stop. It's something that we do on a continuous process. It's something that we return to as things come up, right? As we get activated, as life kind of comes at us and flows at us. So there's that, and then opportunities to work more on a more individualized level with me, whether that is through a one-on-one reading that's similar to what we're doing here today, but with more depth, or working with me one-on-one as a coach and as a guide and as a friend, a cheerleader, a whatever have you. All right. So let's get into these readings. We got a nice cue going on today. I realized I'm learning again. And again, just FYI, I have like IG up here and I have Facebook and YouTube down here. So I'm doing all the eye contact. I'm learning as we go here. So next time, maybe Fridays work out because that's what people want. And also I'll give more advance notice too, because I feel like Wednesday I was like, oh, nope, I'm doing this thing. So lessons learned, we're all learning here, right? Okay. So before we dive into the queue and what folks had asked for, if you're not able to receive the message live, no worries. I'm going to try my best to keep a timestamp of when in the recording or in the live that I pull your card, and I will DM you with that timestamp. In addition, if you would like to, if you're watching the replay or you missed this and you do want a card pull or a reading, feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. And I did that for a couple of folks on Wednesday. After the fact, folks DM'd me and I sent them the card pull and a voice memo of the message. In addition, I have the Inner Muse membership. I'll put that in the show notes. It's it's my monthly membership where we dive into astrology. You can do more readings with me. As I mentioned, we have that new moon coming up. So if you want to know, like in your personal natal chart, what that looks like, feel free to ask for those details. But I'm going to start off for a collective pull. Oops, I hit my microphone. We're going to do the Mindful Collective Affirmations deck. So this is the first one. We're going to see what we got going on there, and see what messages come through, and then we'll dive into what folks had asked for. I thought it'd be nice to kick it off with a little affirmation. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Ah, well, that's a bunch that came out. See, this happened last time. I'm like, oh no, cards are falling on the floor. Can my 37 plus week pregnant self get these cards? I got you. All right, let's go. Ugh. It's fine. I made it. Alrighty, here we go. All right. IRL Ashley, I'm gonna affirm you, Queen. Okay, so I have definitely pulled this card before. It is, can't really see, it's habit. I will read it aloud. It is often said that the secret to our success is hidden within our daily routines. For all big things are really just the sum of a million little things done consistently, done diligently over time. And how beautiful it is to know that we have the power to create our reality one short day at a time, one simple choice at a time, one sweet thought at a time. So tell me now, can you see how your habits are creating your reality today? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, habit. It's like, oh man, yeah. Let's oops. What am I doing here? I meant to oops. Okay, I touched something and I shouldn't have done that. All right. Yeah, so habits, interesting. You know, it's fascinating because more recently, the message I've been receiving is to broaden out, not so much the nitty gritties, but I do like that intentionality of the moment to moment, taking things, you know, one thing at a time, one moment at a time, one instance at a time, one choice at a time, and not, gosh, as someone who has anxiety, right? Not thinking so far ahead in the future, right? Not stressing so much about what is to come. And I've said this before, right? Like, F the how for now. It's like, this is what can I do in this moment? How can I feel in this moment? How can I, you know, act in this moment? I think that's really powerful there. So, all right, we got that. Now, hello. Oh, hi. Yes. um, we got someone that popped in on, let me just like multitasking here. One woman show. Okay. So I'm going to show, let's see if I can do this here. Beep, boop, bop. All right, here are and Ariel's here, good, because you're next up, my friend. I'm going to show the decks so that you can see what your choices may be if you'd like to beep, boop, bop. Okay, so here are the choices. Cassie, I see you joined us. So yeah, there is a bit of a wait. We have some folks, but a lot of the decks that folks chose are short and sweet messages. So I think we can get through it. So if you'd like to get in the queue, otherwise, as I mentioned, there will be a replay. I will try to get timestamps as best as possible and send you a message of when we pull the card. So, all right, Ariel, you are our first, my friend, my former student. So lovely. I love it when my former students reconnect with me and like they see me in this different vibe as a tenure track professor. Always fun. Okay, so Ariel picked Divine Abundance. Beep boop bop. Oh my gosh, these cards keep falling down. Stop. Ugh. I was saying maybe in the future I should stand. No, that's worse because then my 37-week pregnant body is not going to even be close to picking up cards if I'm standing up. So here we go. Let's see. Cassie, you got 3, 4, 6 people ahead of you. So welcome. You're welcome to hang out or to come back or what have you. Okay. Alrighty. Ariel, if there's anything in particular that you'd like to reflect on, or you'd like to, like any intention you want to set as I pull, anything you want to think through. Sometimes I get random visions and things that come through as I'm shuffling. So I'll let you know if that happens. But here we go. Don't know where you live or if you're still in the area, but I'm seeing like woods and nature. That's what's coming up for me as I'm shuffling. All right. So you got allowing, and I will DM you a picture of this. So allowing, radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. Let me see if anything comes through as I'm. Yeah, you know what? I think, and I don't know if, I think you hopped on when I was reading the affirmation. I think this is related because reality in any given moment. So again, it is less tied to what can happen. It is less tied to what perhaps has happened in the past, but is really truly that presence and intentionality and being able to radically accept what's coming through, what comes our way. When it comes to abundance, it's allowing for the space to receive abundance. And in addition to that, it is being able to um, reframe or radically accept what does abundance look like for you right here, right now. And I know that's so freaking hard, right? When we live in this capitalist, materialistic society to be like, well, I don't have any, but you do have abundance, right? You do have, just taking the time to reflect and consider what that abundance looks like for you is, a good exercise of not only staying present, but also a great exercise of gratitude. So allowing for that may be helpful for you. So that's what we got. I'll send you a pic. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if that resonates. I totally forgot to take the timestamp, but I'm going to write it down right now. 1450 something. I will look back and make sure to get that timestamp for you. But I hope that you're still there and that you're able to receive that message, and feel free to chime in if anything in particular has come up for you. All right, while I continue to drop cards. Okay, so that's that. Okay, moving on. Let's go to Alexis. I don't know. Oh, good. I'm glad you love that. I don't think Alexis is here, but she picked. Now I'm going to do the timestamp. 27. Okay. So Alexis is the one of many that picked Soulful Woman. Let me, my ring light is here. Soulful Woman. A lot of y'all picked Soulful Woman today. A lot of y'all picked Soulful Women today. Let me, I'm going to hop back on. I want folks to, I'm going to stop sharing so that y'all can. All right. Soulful Women. Haha. A lot of y'all picked this today. We got a lot of Soulful Women in the group today. So this one is for Alexis. Okay. And feel free, Alexis. I know that you're not hanging out live, but if you, I will DM this to you and send you the timestamp. And feel free to let me know if anything comes through after that. Oh man, my baby is rocking and rolling. That's interesting. He's very active right now as I'm getting ready to pull this card. Okay. Boop. Oh my gosh. Things keep falling down. Okay. Alexis, you got a twofer. 2 cards popped out for you. The first is being, as I bent my card, 31, being with discomfort. At times of discomfort, I courageously seek my soul essence, which is clear, pure, and luminous. Let's read the message from that, and then we'll move on to the second card that popped out. These cards are just popping out and rolling around on the ground, making me work all hard. All right. Beneath any pain I may feel, my soul essence awaits me. When I'm stirred up, hurt, or thrown off balance, I resist running away from my tears or anger. Instead, I allow myself to sink deeper and deeper within myself, and a shift inevitably takes place. I reach my inner light, pure and luminous, still there, still intact. It is as pure as the day I was born, shining, resilient, brilliant, like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. All right, Ariel. So, no, we did Ariel. Alexis, sorry. A lot of A names today, too. Alexis, what's coming through with this is it really is like like I said, like a diamond, right? So there's that saying, it seems kind of corny or whatever, or cliche, but like pressure forms diamonds. So I'm not really sure what's going on right now, and let me know if this resonates when you receive this, but maybe there's some sort of challenge or something is going on that you're maybe questioning or being like, why the hell is this happening to me? La la la, right? I have oftentimes found that we receive things or things come our way at these, there's times when we have to go through these challenges and we come out the other side, and it may take years, it may take a long time, but after the fact, we're like, oh, damn, that's why this was meant to happen. And the way to stay grounded in those moments is to tap back in and to dig deep and find that strength and perseverance and strength in yourself. And when it comes to that inner child piece, right, it says you reach for that inner light. So think about, right, before we grew up, before we became adults, before we got conditioned by all the things, like, what is that wonder? What is that joy? Again, it's tying back to the original affirmation card that I pulled, and even to Ariel's card, like, what's in the here and now that we can have gratitude and be grateful for? What's in the here and now that we can have a wondrous joy and acceptance for? And despite perhaps the challenges that may be coming through, that you have that inner light, that inner muse, as I call it, that soul essence that is ringing very true for you. So that is what's coming up. And then the other card that I pulled for you is I embrace my body. So you got a twofer. I embrace my body. And so maybe it's something tied to that. Not sure what's happening with you health-wise or something to do with the body, but I'm deeply grateful for this physical body of mine, which has carried me throughout my life. I honor and embrace all of my body, all her strength, grace, and beauty. May I listen to my body and trust her wisdom. She lets me know what feels right, what is best for my highest good, and where I need to be more protective of my boundaries. May I be receptive, compassionate, and loving to my body's specific needs. May I tend to her hurts in the most loving and tender ways, as a mother would her beloved child. She has given me so much pleasure and has also weathered a great deal of pain. I bless my body. I honor, and so the affirmation is, I honor and embrace all of my body. I'm receptive to her specific needs. So again, very much tied together, which I see, and it's so funny because it's cards 31 and 13. So it's like 3-1, then 1-3. So, if you're a numerology person, or if you want to look up that numerology, 1 and 3 might be something important there, but they're very much tied together again, like that there is sitting with that discomfort, and it is from a bodily or a physical standpoint, but trusting and owning what is happening in your body, tending to your nervous system, not feeling like that you need to like rush through it or push through it, right? Just being able to feel within it and sit within that discomfort may perhaps bring some insights and some clarity. And again, tending to that body as if it were a child. Very, very helpful there. All right. Doo-doo. Cool. So we got that. Next we have, my sister, Maria. Speaking of which, my sister and I did a really amazing cancer season live conversation interview, because she's my older sister and the cancer queen in my life. So I was able to interview her and talk to her about all that, about self-care, about boundaries, about inner child work. So check that out on my YouTube channel. It was an amazing convo. Loved it. Let's just see here. All right. So this is for Maria. I know she told me she couldn't make it live, so I will. Let me get the timestamp. All right, here we go. It's so funny when I'm like ready to pull. This baby is like, he like knows. He's just like bopping around in there. Hey, all right. I know, I'm pulling for your auntie. Okay. Your actual aunt, not just like auntie friends, like your actual aunt. Here we go. This is for my sis. Nope. Doesn't want that one. Try again. I'm trying to rush it. They're like, Spirit's like, no. I think because it's my sister. I don't know. Maybe we're too like cosmically tied. Okay, here we go. I feel like, has she gotten this card before? I've definitely pulled this card before. I don't know if my sister in particular has gotten this card before. Path awareness. I will DM you the picture. Path awareness. Oh, it's number 30. All these threes. That's very interesting too. Okay. Path awareness. Let me drink some of my iced tea. When I ask sincerely, I'm always guided back to my right path and to my central purpose. Each time I return to my path, I return with knowledge and wisdom gained from exploring the shadow side of my journey. My side journeys, detours, and setbacks give me a broader perspective and useful information. Each time I return true to my course, I am that much clearer and stronger, that much more ready to live peacefully with myself and my chosen life path. Each time I return, I am more sure that this is the right way for me, that I'm on track. This knowledge reassures me. Sometimes I can only know what I know by experiencing the contrast of other paths or by falling off my path for a while. I am excited about my journey ahead. And your affirmation for this card, this is for Maria. If I sincerely ask, I am always guided back to the right path for me and to my central purpose. It's interesting. It reminds me again of our conversation that we had, sis, regarding cancer season, right? Like, sometimes we have to tap into that shadow. Sometimes we have to tap into those challenging moments, maybe those like uncomfortable moments that we've experienced in our lives, to give us the clarity on what, how can we tend to some of that wounding in a way that we emerge the other side and have this wisdom and clarity to move forward, and we can step more into our authentically aligned selves. And I love this, because I know that and we talked about this, Dr. Rowena, if you know me, like homegirl, I was like on this linear trajectory. But how can we accept life with its weaves and turns and pivots, and the way that it's supposed to, or that isn't like a strict line or blueprint. And so I think this is affirming that, sis, because I remember we talked about this. I'm like, man, I need that fluidity. And so I think it is a reaffirmation of like, yes, like, you will always be guided back. You'll always have your North Star if you stay true to yourself. And that sometimes the contrast of like, oh, snap, like that's not what's supposed to happen, or like this is not in alignment for you, or like this makes you feel like shit. Like that contrast is another, it may suck at the time, but it is another indicator that, like you need to, let's fall back into the right path. So there that is. Whoop, there it is. Okay. Moving on. I'm talking too much, but not really. It's fine. This is fun. Okay. Alrighty. So next we have Ruth. Lovely Ruth. Ruth, the only one that like on Wednesday hopped on for a pool, and I was like, full transparency, I was feeling all sad, like, oh no, like, but I'm glad that folks have since seen and requested, and I'm here for you. So Ruth chose, she was like, let's do tarot. Heck yeah. Next World Tarot. Cristy C. Road. This is my primary tarot deck. This is the deck that I used to study. I studied tarot through Lindsay Mack, the what is it called? Tarot of the Soul. And this is one of the cards that she had as like a representative deck when teaching the tarot. And it's like, oh, it's just wait till you see these visuals, y'all. Just wait till you see the visuals of this deck. It's gorgeous. And I love it has a social justice lens, and it's just so inclusive and juicy and yummy. Let's see. Hold on. We got a question here. All right. So Let's see what's going. Also, we're getting our gutters cleaned at the moment. So if you hear anything outside, that's what's going on. So typically with my tarot pulls, it depends on, like, sometimes I'm like, this is what's coming through as I pull the card. And sometimes I'm like, let's see what Cristy C. Road has to say. The message. So we'll see what comes up for Ruth. She had a really powerful pull on Wednesday when I pulled for her. But let's see what comes up in terms of the tarot. And I got my timestamp. Okay. I had to like peek. I was like, did I get my timestamp? Okay. Oh, I like don't want to drop cards. Like, my pregnant belly's so big. It's like, it's okay. Stop, Rowena. Just go. It's interesting because I feel like this is going to be tied. I think all these pulls are tied together because I feel like she's got a path thing of here. Okay. Whoop. 3 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 3 of Wands, foresight, Mars and Aries. So I'm going to give my interpretation of what I see here, and then we will read what Cristy C. Road has to say. So 3 of Wands, 3 is the number of, community, right? Of a celebration. Wands is fire. Wands is that energy. It's active, right? It's like actively doing something. And then the word that's on this card, it says foresight. So I'm curious because when we pulled for you, Ruth, the other day, you mentioned that the card was saying something. And I think that's why I was like thinking of this path thing based on our conversation on Wednesday. You mentioned something about like there's going to be a transition, or there's going to be some sort of something coming up for you, like a change or some sort of milestone change. And the astrology of this particular card is Mars and Aries. So again, that's like an F ton of fire. So, and what's also interesting, we're going to like astrology nerd out a little bit. The lunar nodes, like the North Node and South Node, are shifting into Aries, right? Aries and Libra. So it's like, you got a lot of energy, friend, that's going to be pushing you. So whatever this transition or this life change or what is happening for you is coming up, whatever's coming up for you here, just know that you have just understand to have the foresight and the awareness and the discernment to know like what, because with Aries energy, sometimes it's gonna be like, blah, blah, blah. Like sometimes it's too, you can get like a little ahead of yourself and become impulsive. So just make sure to take a beat, take a breath, and take the time to be able to discern. Surround yourself with good community, surround yourself with your people. Don't be afraid to ask for help or for guidance. And know that you innately know what is best for you, like what is the best next step for you. So that's that. I thought it was pretty good, though. I'm going to see, not see my own horn. Now, let's see what, Change is the only constant for the 3 of Wands. Expansion, knowledge, and growth keep his energy vibrant, as the 3 has learned that age and experience doesn't always qualify for wisdom. The 3 of Wands asks you to stay hard at work. We're masters of our own well-being, and in order to thrive, we have to seek knowledge that will pull us toward greatness. 3 of Wands reminds you to look further into what's being offered and study the possibilities beyond your familiar world. So yeah, that expansion piece. So have at it, my friend. Good luck. Let me know how that tracks for you, especially given the pull that we did on Wednesday. Boom. Okay. Whew. All right. I might have to take a nap after all this. Next up, we have Olivia. Olivia 3125. I'm doing my timestamps, y'all. I'm really trying my best. Olivia also picked the Soulful Woman deck. And Sequoia, I know that you're up next. I don't know if you're still here, but you're next, my friend. So we'll see what my Gemini friend, Olivia, what we got for her today with Soulful Woman. I know. Oh, yes. Olivia is going through a Saturn return right now. So that's, yes, very interesting. I'm curious what comes up for you, my friend. I know it's your Saturn return time. Speaking from experience, my Saturn return, like freaking, it just was a game. It changed a lot. So we'll see how that plays with that. And I know that there's some like life things and whatnot. So we'll be curious to see what comes up here for this. All right. Lab travel, I feel. Nope. I'm trying to rush it. There it is. Okay. Oh, I love this card. It's so pretty. Grace. Whoop. Hello. Ring light. Grace. Grace. 47. Okay. Of course, I'll send you the pic because I know it's hard, like with the glare and everything. Also, these cards are kind of shiny. So we got that going for us. Okay. Grace. When I open to grace, the flow of my life feels effortless and vibrant. Illuminated by the exquisite light of grace, I can see that I'm a part of something far greater than my physical form. Connected to the magnificent presence of grace, I experience kindness and abundance both within me and around me. Grace grows in me each time I give thanks for all that is good in my life. I notice the wisdom of grace when something that was blocked starts to flow again, or when the answer to a difficult problem arrives unexpectedly. I remember to ask for grace. I am open to its blessings. So, your affirmation for this card, Olivia, is when I open to the deep source of grace, the flow of my life feels effortless and vibrant. Um, as someone that I know, that I know personally, what's coming through for me as I pull this card is like remembering to stay in the flow. And I know that you're quite good at that. I mean, definitely you're better than I think some other folks are, but remembering that when you open yourself up, and especially during a Saturn return, it can feel very like constricting, right? Because like Saturn, that Saturnian energy is very much like discipline and like this is what you need to do. But how can you contend with that dichotomy, right? Like, okay, maybe this is the boot camp, the Saturn return is kicking my ass a little bit, but how can I stay in the flow of that and be open to receiving the grace and permission to learn the lessons of that Saturn return, to learn the lessons of what is flowing through, to tend to the gratitude that is my life, that is, the wisdom that is coming forward from this experience, that sort of thing. So be open to those blessings. And I just, again, like if we're talking about like inner child shit, like look at this card. I just love her. She's like, I got birds in my hair, right? Like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So there's that. I will send that to you. Let me know how that lands. And now we are on to Sequoia. I know that you had hopped on for a bit. Not sure if you're still here, but I will make my timestamps. I believe, yep, you also asked for soulful women. Like I said, got a lot of soulful women in this group today. And apparently I keep trying to rush the card pulls because I'm trying to force it. And people are like, no. Let's see. And I know, Cassia, you also asked for soulful women. So I think it's interesting. What does that mean? What does that mean? We got soul. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. Okay. Don't want to get copyright hit on me. All right, let's go. All right, this is for Sequoia, who showed me her beautiful first deck. Love it. Maybe you should pull for me. I'm gonna send you this, then you can pull for me. I want to know from your deck what comes through for me. All right. Alrighty. Here we go. So this is for Sequoia. Ring light. Love-based reality. Love-based reality. It's the number one card. Heyo. Number one. First and foremost, feels very much like the Fool in the tarot. Like, let's get into it. Here are the messages. Okay, this is for Sequoia. I am soul nurtured whenever I surround myself with friends and family who support a love-based reality rather than a fear-based reality. I choose to devote myself to a reality that connects me to beauty, strengthens love in my life, and inspires, empowers, and fills me with joy. Nurturing a love-based reality sustains me in my life and keeps me buoyant whenever I face fears or self-doubt. It strengthens my capacity to be present and to be of greater service to life on the planet. I bow in deep appreciation for all the people who have supported me to be my best and believed in me. As I grow in love and compassion, I naturally reflect the light of these energies to all those around me. Okay. And then the affirmation for this card is I am soul nurtured when I surround myself with friends and family who support a love based reality. That's literally the first line there. Let's see. So, Sequoia, when I was shuffling the deck, I believe you are tied to the travel industry. If I'm, please let me know if I'm wrong, like later on when I DM you this card. Um, and so the greater service of life to the planet, that really stuck out to me. Like I saw you traveling. So, how can you continue to spread your love and your light and that love-based reality to like other realms, right? Other countries, other communities, other cultures, and how can you take what you've learned in these different experiences, right? In your service, in your work, and how can you take that and transmute it into lessons for the rest of us, right? What do you take away from it personally that then you can alchemize it and spread, the seeds of your wisdom and your innate your gifts and talents and what you're meant to do here in this iteration. And in that work, how can you continue to nurture and reparent and tend to your soul? How can you continue to be in alignment with that soul purpose, with that innate, genius that you have and that you have to offer, that energy, that light? Because, being committed to that can be a tough journey. So, just by surrounding yourself in that love, staying heart centered, doing like heart chakra work, finding your people, finding your community, and being able to learn from that is very, very helpful. All right, cool. All right, let's do. You know what? While we're here, yeah, and Cassia, I'm gonna bump you up because you're here and you've been so patiently waiting, and I appreciate you. And you also picked the soulful woman deck, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that pull for you. Uh, so appreciate you. I know it was a lot. A lot's flowing, a lot's coming through. Um, and just FYI, let's share the window again. There's the decks. Let's share it over here just in case we have friends there. All right. I do have tarot cards. I do. I'm happy to do a tarot pull for you as well. Okay. Whew. Okay. We can do both. We're gonna do tarot and soulful wound for you. Yeah, no problem. We're here. Why not? Let's do it. A couple things. So if you want, if you got a deck that calls to you, feel free to let me know. I have a Cancer New Moon Insights live coming up on Monday, the 17th, because we have that new moon. I have an inner child healing workshop coming up on the 25th. I also do, if you want more personalized readings, you can join my Inner Muse membership. All of that info and more will be in the show notes. Oh, let me get my timestamp. See ya. Even though you're here live, just in case you want to like refer back to it. Boop. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, this one wanted to come out. It was so interesting. Like all of these cards, wow. Okay, so this is what came up. Actually, let me switch back to full screen so you can see. All right. Asking opens a pathway. There's a lot of like pathway stuffs. A lot of pathway stuffs. Stop sharing here. A lot of pathway stuffs. Just gotta pull it up for IG. Okay. Asking opens a pathway. Yeah, it's interesting. I think we're in this transition time where it's like, where do I go? Like, what's happening? Okay. Gemini. We're gonna do both. Okay. So asking opens a pathway. Whenever I don't know what to do, I turn within and ask for guidance and answers. Then they come, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. a knowing, a sense, an image, a name, a next step, a possible pathway. I'm discovering that answers come to me when I ask for them, and when I give myself enough time and space to listen for them and receive them. I know that it is essential to ask for guidance with the expectation that I will receive it. I wait calmly and quietly for fresh insights and ideas to flow towards me. That's very Gemini. You're ruled by air, man. That ideation is so real. Asking gives me a sense of positive expectation and opens me to a world of possibility. I'm learning to ask wiser questions all the time. Asking opens the door to new information and fresh energy and to the unexpected. So, the affirmation for this card is when I ask questions of my inner being, I discover that beautiful and helpful answers always come to me. So, what's coming through for me as I read this card, Cassia, is also don't be afraid to like actually ask, right? So I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how, our spirit guides or the angels or whoever, right? Like whoever source is for you, God, goddess, what have you. A lot oftentimes we like very to ourselves with like, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. But no, we need to be audacious, have those audacious asks and manifestations and, writing them down, like putting them on display, being more active in that. And also being active in terms of when opportunities come, taking advantage of them. We don't just ask for the things and sit. It allows us to open ourselves up to possibilities and open ourselves up to seeing the synchronicities that are then going to lead us to the thing. I hope that resonates or that makes sense for you. So let me know what you think. And then I'm also going to pull a tarot card for you from Next World Tarot. Next World Tarot. And I'm going to list all of these in the show notes. I'm going to list all of these decks here. So if you're like, ooh, I really like that deck, you can scope it out yourself. All right. We'll just do a one card pull here for the tarot. I have a thought of what might come up, but I don't know. Let's see. Or what I think would tie with this card, but let me not try to force it. Let me just see what comes through for our friend here. Oh man. Cassia, I pulled the card that was basically like my anchor card was it last year or what have you? It's the Chariot. We pulled the Chariot card. This is Next World Tarot, the Chariot card. Like, look how fab this lady is. It's the moon, it's water, it's Cancer. So, fascinating thing about the Chariot, right? So, the way that I've learned the Chariot from my teacher, Lindsay Mack, is when you see the Chariot, folks think the Chariot means like, oh, we're going somewhere. That the Chariot means like we're moving forward to the next thing, which I think is interesting given this pathway card we just pulled for you. But in actuality, if you look at the traditional way, like the Rider's Waite Chariot, there's like no wheels on that chariot. Like the Chariot, what the Chariot represents is this time of reflection. It's Cancer, which is beautiful because we're in Cancer season. We have this Cancer new moon coming up on Monday. It's the moon, right? It really is this time of reflection. So again, you're in this, and let me know if this resonates with you. You're in this instance, perhaps, of, okay, like it's like a lot of people are getting this today. What you're at a crossroads or you're at a point where, and she said you're a Gemini, so that duality, right? So it's, okay, what am I asking for intentionally? And how can I take a moment instead of going to it or getting to it? How can I tap into my intuition? How can I tap into, if we're going to tie it back to the inner child healing stuff, like how can I tap to the joys and desires of that inner child to gain the answer of what is next, right? So this is a very pivotal, like standstill moment for you in terms of what the next step is going to be. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if that resonates or makes sense. Nikki, hi. Oh, I think she left. I was saying hi to Nikki on IG to see if she wanted a reading, but it's all good. So that, I think, very powerful cards there. Okay. So we got that. And then we have Sonia, my good friend, who picked, let me show the Isis Oracle deck. You're welcome. Isis Oracle. Fellow pregnant friend. So happy that we got you here. Okay. And I think really powerful that, I don't know, I think it's good. I like that we're ending with Isis. Isis is like, this is such a powerful deck. It's like badassery, divine feminine, which I think is so powerful for this time, for this season, for this energy. So let's end with this. Oops. And see what comes through, and then we'll do some final announcements and wrap it up, because it's been 50 minutes now. So alrighty. This is a good one. So here's the image. I mean, she's just so like, come on, who doesn't want to look like that? Right? It's like, damn. All right, Sans, this is for you. Stay true and be in your power. You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being free to be you. Holy moly, what a freaking powerful card. What a wonderful way to wrap things up, Sans. I mean, Sonia, for, you're in this transition time, right? You're in the second trimester of your pregnancy, right? Literally growing a human, and knowing that and honoring this divine sovereign process, like wrapping your brain around the fact, and I've had to do this several times in my own pregnancy, wrapping your brain around the fact, like, holy shit, like I'm literally creating life in my being, like literally creating life in my womb space, literally like creating, and what does that, how can you tap into your innate, because I know like you have such a wisdom within you, such a sovereignty, such a beautiful depth and light and all this stuff. So how can, through this pregnancy, ground you even more so that you can like just freaking go, like just pop off and like see what downloads are coming through. I know that when I was pregnant with my first child, when I was pregnant with Kerrigan, that was probably back in 2020, 2019, 2020. That was the first time that, I felt very spiritually connected and plugged in. Like it was like the downloads were coming hot. Oops, as I'm like hitting my microphone, hot, heavy, fast, and furious, right? So yeah, find those moments and know that. Also know what I think this card is saying too, that's coming through, is you're going to do this your own way, because this is what's hard, when it comes to like pregnancy and motherhood. There's a lot of freaking expectations. There's a lot of shoulding. There's a lot of like, oh, we'll do this and that. And like, honor yourself, and what's best for you when you're in terms of your pregnancy and moving forward and motherhood and all the changes, the horrible, the messy, but also the delightful and transformative changes that comes with that. I recently posted on Instagram a post about how motherhood changed me in terms of how I approach my business and my work, and how it has allowed me to step into more of that sovereignty and that authenticity, right? Because now I'm role modeling for my daughter, and now for my son, who should be here, who the heck knows, in the next couple weeks, role modeling for my children what that looks like. So honor this time. I think it's going to be great. I'm so happy for you. And I think I was meant to pull yours last because I think that's such a beautiful message to end on. So, we had a lot today. I'm going to, as I mentioned, for the folks that requested pulls, I will give you the timestamp so that you can find it where I read it live, and I'll send you the card. A couple of final announcements before we wrap things up, because we're like I was up here for a long time, but that's cool. This was great. If you liked this, I'm more than happy to do this more, at least until baby boy Winkler arrives. But just a couple of things, right? So, Cancer season, we have the Cancer new moon coming up on Monday. So I am doing a new moon insights video. I will go live on YouTube and also on my Facebook page. So if you want to gain insights on that, that's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. So from 5 to 5:30, we're going to talk about this Cancer new moon, and it's going to be tied to a lot of stuff today. And then in addition to that, I have a free inner child healing workshop that's coming up on the 25th. So it's, a lot of good resources, insights, frameworks in terms of how to do that inner child healing. And yeah, if you want more personalized card pools or readings or any of that fun stuff, I have my Inner Muse membership, which, you get a deeper dive hanging out with this chick here. Very astrology based. So if this is your jam and you're into learning more about astrology and how it can tie to your life personally, check out that membership as well. Whew. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. I'm definitely gonna, take a breather now because I have a baby that's kind of just mushing everything right now. But I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. It's been a pleasure being able to do these readings for folks. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. I'll keep you posted on the status of baby Wink, and we will see you next time. Alrighty then. Take care.